At some point in our lives, sooner or later, a lot of people notice that their lives are stuck in cycles or repeating patterns. The same things seem to happen over and over, or we keep running up against the same barriers and limits to what seems possible. We always end up back in the same place, feeling the same way. Examples of this might be the same kind of romantic partners who treat you the same way, the same type of work with the same kind of income, the same type of relationship with yourself or your health or fitness, or really just the way that life feels to you. We try to shift things, and with the best intentions in the world, we commit to doing things differently. But with enough time, the same cycles seem to happen again, and we end up back in the same place. If you've noticed this, and if you want to break out of your cycles, then this video is for you. If you find this one helpful, remember to give it a like, and remember to subscribe to my channel. So let's start with why this happens. Why do we get stuck in cycles in our lives? Once you understand why, the why behind something, normally that gives you power to change it. So let's start with why do things repeat throughout our lives? So our lives are basically the end result of all the choices that we've made. That can be really small choices like what am I going to have for breakfast? What route am I going to take to work? How am I going to tackle this little problem that I'm dealing with right now? Right through the really big ones like, am I ready to get married to this person? Or do I want to have kids? Or should I move from where I live to this other city because I want to start a new job? Should I retrain in a new career? Those are the really big ones. Those are like what we call peak experiences. But our lives are made up of all the choices that we make. Each one reaffirms a way that we do things, and it also like adds up over time. So you end up with a certain shape of your life depending on the choices that you've made. If you know my work at all, you know that I'm really big on choice. I talk a lot about it. I have a background in philosophy, and existential philosophy tends to lead to this idea of we have a lot of power and a lot of freedom, and it ends up kind of showing up in the choices that we make. It's the first big chunky chapter in my book, Deep Joy. So one of the limiting factors on our choices is it's always you making these choices. It's your identity which is doing this. So each time you are confronted with a decision, what happens is your brain goes, what did I do last time? So it draws on past experience, and not so much did it work out for me, but at least what did I do last time? Because we like to stick to doing the same things that we've always done. It's just a neurological thing that we do. It does that, you'll have an emotional response, so you will have some subtle fears that are at play that will make some choices way more appealing, and some choices, like, you will never even think of them, because fear just blots them out. That's the way that fear normally shows up in our life. It's normally not like, oh my God, I'm shaking, I'm really terrified. Normally it's just never thinking of something, or persuading yourself not to think about something. So it can be that, it can be beliefs that we have. So I'm this kind of person, and so this is the kind of thing that I should do, or this is the way the world is meant to work. That can be a big way that beliefs kind of get in the way. And it can be things like your idea of who you are. So this is the way that people see me. I've got to keep up appearances. I've got to do the things that people expect of me. I've got to try and live up to the expectations of certain people. I've got to conform to certain social kind of parameters. So we have all these limitations on the way that we think about things, and that identity, that all those ideas and all those thoughts and all those feelings are all present every time we make a choice. So since the identity broadly doesn't change, and in our culture, our identities rarely shift, we're not encouraged to kind of shift as a person. So we tend to stay more or less the same identity throughout our lives. What that means is that for a little while, you can choose something else. You might decide that, you know what, I've never had a great relationship with fitness, so I'm going to get fit. I'm going to join a gym. I'm going to sort my diet out. Maybe I'll hire a personal trainer. But you're also, by doing that, you're going against all the things you've always done. So as long as you're focused, and as long as you're applying willpower, you can shift the choices that you're making. But let's say you get tired. Let's say you develop an injury. Let's say that you have a really bad time at work. Your relationship comes to an end. There's a pandemic, whatever. Something major happens, and that gets in the way of the will that you're pouring into this new direction in your life. You tend to go back to the same stuff. The identity reasserts itself, And usually without noticing, you'll just start making the old choices again. You'll start eating badly. You'll miss gym sessions, and you'll come up with a really good reason why you didn't go. And then over time, you end up back in the same place. And this shows up in all sorts of different places. The way I sometimes talk about this with my clients is it's like you're in a box. And the edges of this box are defined by these artificial limits on our thinking and our feeling that come about because of the identity that we're bringing to every choice. So it might be our beliefs about the world and how things should be and the person we should be. Or it might be the judgments of others. Or it might be the fears or other emotions that we bring to it. Or it might be our past experiences. These end up forming these hard limits around the way that we think about things. And so we just end up repeating the same processes and experiences and relationships and whatever else inside this box. So you'll show up to any given choice with all sorts of things already locked in place. Your feelings will play a huge part. Your experiences will influence you. So remembering what happened the last time you were in this situation or a similar one. And we all carry beliefs about how things are or how they should be. We might feel like we don't deserve a well-paid job, so we never go for one. We might believe that we're not artistic, so we never express that side of ourselves. We might be afraid of failure or embarrassment, so we don't take the risks. We might have traumatic or formative experiences from our early life that just whisper in the back of our minds that we should or shouldn't do things. And that's why we get stuck in these cycles.
If somebody else could look into your brain, could read your thoughts, could see your whole life, they might be able to teach you some really amazing solutions to your problems. They wouldn't be held back by your hang-ups and your experience, your limiting beliefs, your fears. So they'd probably be able to teach you a whole range of ways of solving all the problems that you're facing, things that you would never think of. But nobody can do this. Nobody can look into our minds and fully appreciate what we're going through. So does that mean we're trapped? Does it mean that forever we'll be trapped in the same cycles, the same beliefs? No, it doesn't. This is where personal growth comes in. You're called to grow and change across your life. We all are. We all have this opportunity. We're not meant to stay the same for our whole lives. We can heal from traumas. We can overcome fears. We can develop new belief patterns. We can approach our lives in completely radical new ways. It happens incrementally over time, day by day. Nothing seems to change, but when we look back, everything's different. And we end up tackling things in entirely new ways. You can escape these boxes, and you can change your life.
So the walls of this box are your identity. They're the feelings and beliefs that you're carrying, and we tend to get very attached to these. They're hard won, and sometimes it feels like they keep us safe from the dangers of life. But as long as you stay inside your comfortable, safe box, believing the same things, feeling the same about things, fearing the same things, telling yourself the same things, you will keep getting the same results. It's you holding yourself back. The solution is change, risk, doing scary things, doing things that aren't the kind of things that you do. Making them big enough and different enough that they shake up your expectations, they teach you new perspectives, they undermine your beliefs about what's possible. Over time, this begins to change your identity. You become somebody else, somebody who's got new experiences and can think in new ways. You become the person who will teach you the better solutions to the challenges of your life. Do things that aren't the kind of things you do. Talk to the people you wouldn't normally talk to. Imagine that you're a different kind of person and then act like that. Decide that you believe something different than what you've always believed about yourself, about other people, or about the world. Pick beliefs that are going to give you the best shot at success. Believe that you deserve more, that you're more capable, that you will handle this. Even if you don't know the right thing to do, or what will get you closer to your dream, or if you don't even have a dream, you'll learn things and you'll begin to change what's possible for you. Things will go wrong. People might laugh. You will make mistakes and some will be public. The important thing is the willingness to try, letting go of your attachments to your fears and fixed ideas. Say yes to life. Don't dip your toe in the water, let yourself go for it. Let new things in and see what you learn. You can leave your box. You can break the patterns and cycles. It might take time, you might not notice the changes each day, but if you want new results, if you want to break free of the same things happening again and again in your life, you're going to need to grow as a person, shift your core identity, and welcome new ideas in. Start doing scary, risky, interesting things. If you found this video helpful, or if you think it might be helpful for somebody else, then remember to give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and feel free to share it with your friends.